welcome back. I'm Dani Coco from Show Up Fitness, queen of social media. Instagram is at DaniCoco1. You can also follow us at Show Up Fitness and at Show Up Fitness Internship. Today we are talking about how to stand out on social media. So this is a question I get quite often, is how do I stand out? How do I differentiate myself from all of the content that's on social media? I'm going to steal a quote from Chris, who's on this channel all the time. There's a lot of BS, so the industry is saturated with a lot of garbage. So just because there's a lot of fitness content out there doesn't mean that it's good fitness content. So it's not something to be intimidated by, the fact that a lot of people are successful on social media. It's something to be motivated by, that if you're an educated trainer, you're someone who's putting in the hours to learning anatomy, learning physiology, learning nutrition, and learning social media strategy, you'll be successful online if you give it the time and the patience that it needs. So first thing above everything as far as how to stand out on social media, this is my number one tip, honestly for mostly everything, is to find your audience. I think a lot of people post really generic content on socials because they're not really sure who they're targeting. So they'll post workouts for women as if that's a specific audience, but it's really not. A specific audience would be women over 40 who've worked in corporate for a long time, who are looking for a way to get more active during the day. Bam. Once you have a specific audience, you can create content for that specific audience, and you're so much more likely to get that engagement and that enthusiasm from your audience because you're speaking directly to them. I always say speaking to everybody is actually speaking to nobody. So people say, well, I don't want to cut out someone by posting workouts for this really specific group of people. But the reality is, if you're just posting booty workouts for women, I don't know who's really feeling connected to that, versus targeting your audience and saying, hey, for these women over 40 who work in corporate, here's a 15-minute workout you can do when you're busy at work, or here's how you get more steps throughout the day if you're someone who works a desk job. Those are things that are more specific that will help you stand out. Second thing is be creative. I see a lot of the same stuff on social media. I'm sure you guys do. It's someone posing in the gym, text on screen, swipe, swipe here's 4 workout slides, and that's it. It's not necessarily creative, so you can think of outside of the box ways to post content. Maybe you're doing voiceovers on all your videos, or having cool original music, or you have text on screen that pops up, or when you do form videos, maybe you're great at editing and you have arrows come up to explain what you're talking about. Maybe you do a picture-in-picture style where you're on Zoom and you're breaking down your form on a video, recording that and uploading it. There are so many ways to get creative with your content formats, and I think to only stick to what's on social media is not the way to go. That being said, you don't need to totally reinvent the wheel. If you get too crazy, sometimes it's difficult to watch and it can be distracting if there's a lot of stuff going on, but think of ways that you can be creative. Outside of that too, there's so much more to fitness than just workouts, as I'm sure you know if you're someone who's educated. It's not just you hit the gym for an hour a day and that's it. There's being active, there's nutrition, there's mindset, so think of other things you can post outside of just straight up workouts. Third thing is to develop your niche. So just like I was talking about with your audience, you can scale that down even more and figure out what are you great at? What do you enjoy making? What do you connect to? So to use that first example, women over 40 who work in corporate, who are busy and want to get in shape, your ideal thing could be talking about getting movement, getting steps throughout the day, avoiding being sedentary. That could really be what you hone in on. Then you can put out an ebook about getting more active throughout the day. You can do 15-minute group challenges on the weekends. Hey, log on for 15 minutes, we're walking and I'm talking to you about nutrition and we're doing a walk together. There are so many different ways that you can really build up your niche and that specific thing that you do better than anyone else. It's so easy to get really broad and vague on social media. So if you can find your audience and then find your niche and that specific kind of content you can make, that's gonna help you stand out for the crowd, get from the crowd, get really good at one thing. And yes, have that ability to be diverse and to pivot and to train different kinds of people, but if you on social media are hyper specific, you're going to attract that kind of audience. Fourth thing, share your personality. I can't tell you how many people I work with who are boring with a capital B on Instagram because they think that's how they're supposed to be. Oh, I have to get on Instagram and be really serious and talk like I'm a professional. Yes, obviously you want to have that element of professionalism, but at the same time, have fun, show your personality. You can goof around a little bit. You can get on your stories and make jokes. When people feel like they know you, they're so much more likely to be connected to you and ultimately to buy from you. So allow that point of connection to happen. Fifth thing is skip the comparison game. It's so easy to get discouraged if you're looking at everybody else's life and what everyone else is doing and say, hey, how come I'm not like that person? How come I don't look like that person? Why is that person, so much growing on Instagram so much faster than me? Play your own game, right? It's just like fitness. It might take you 5 years to squat at the way that someone can squat in, their first year of working out. You can't compare yourself to the person next to you. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses, and it might take you longer to grow or to find your niche or to find your ideal audience. So again, be patient and don't look left and right to see what's going on around you. Just stay in your own lane and stay focused on you. Last thing is to learn to find your voice and come up with a long form way to do that. This is why I think YouTube is great. This is why I think podcasting is great. If you go to my Instagram, you're not going to know a lot about me and how I talk, versus if you're on this YouTube channel, if you're on my own YouTube channel, if you're on my podcast, Gifted Podcast, there's my plug, you're going to know so much more about me and how I am and how I talk. So again, I had to learn how to find my voice on social media, but beyond that, how to share that in a long form way, because I don't think Instagram creates deep relationships. I think Instagram can be very surface level, and that's what drives people to your other platforms, to your YouTube, to your podcast, to then feel like they really know you. I feel like I know creators who are on a lot of different platforms, especially long form platforms, much better than someone who's just on one. So those are my top tips for standing out on social media. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram at DaniCoco1, and you can always follow us at Show Up Fitness and at Show Up Fitness Internship. Don't forget to sign up for our internship where I teach these classes every Friday at 8 a.m. Patreon.com/showupfitness.